Hello, this video will discuss the page view feature in Content, which is new in IDLE 12.12. This feature will return page information for every hit document that is returned by a query action in Content. It does this by adding an autumn page element to each hit that will contain a CSV of page numbers. Each number within that CSV will correspond to a page within the hit document that the search expression appears in. You should specify page info equals true on the query action in order to obtain this information. To configure this feature, specify the new parameter index sections as pages within your server section of your config file for content. When configured, content will store document sections as a single document within its indexes. It will also store offset info for the last term of each section so that it knows where a page ends and where it begins. If you have CFS within your ingestion process, you should also set the import PDF page sectioning parameter within the import service section of your config file for CFS. This will divide a document into sections using the position of page breaks within the PDF file. We should mention that this feature only works for IDX documents. It is not supported for XML documents. A few observations about this feature. It is transparently supported by both the Dart and QMS components. Each component will also return page information for document hits if the feature is also configured within the content that those components talk to. It is also compatible with encryption and or compression if these features are active for your content engine. If you export data via the DRE export IDX command, that data will feature page information, so the exported data is compatible with this feature if you reindex it into a different engine. There is minimal performance impact for this feature. It requires only a small notable lookup to function. If you have not configured this feature but you put page info equals true on your query action, a warning will be returned just to say that you should not be using this as it has not been configured and no information is returned regarding page information. Another observation is that this feature is intended to support a future view server feature that will allow users to view and fetch individual pages of a document only, rather than having to fetch the entire document and render it and then expect viewers to navigate to the page that they want. A quick demonstration of what this feature looks like. I have a content engine configured with index sections as pages set to true, so the new feature is active. And I also have a content engine running with the IDLE admin documentation indexed into it as a section of pages. So if I run action equals query and text equals clustering and page info equals true, you can see that there's an autumn page element returned with a CSV of pages indicating that clustering or some variation thereof appears on pages 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and so on. We can also try it with a phrase. So if we look for dynamic clustering, for example, we get fewer hits because it's a phrase this time, but there are still around a dozen hits for that phrase. For more information, you can find the IDLE documentation at www.microfocus.com/documentation/IDLE.